Welcome back to another edition of Focus Forward here on Studio 3. My name is Jamie Salinas, Executive Director of Forward Worthington. That is Chamber of Commerce, Convention and Visitors Bureau, and Worthington Regional Economic Development Corporation for the Worthington area. This time we are out here on Oxford Street, braving all that the construction that's still going on, and we are here at Noble's Abstract Title and Abstract and Title Company. There we go. Right here on Oxford Street. And we are here. We are talking with Tanner Rogers, and we are talking with Yariana Riba. And the first question we're going to be asking, we're going to talk to you here first here, Tanner. How long has Noble's Abstract and Title been in this particular building?
Yeah, so our office is in what people would recognize as the old Papa Murphy's building. And the Abstract Companies opened here in February 2019. So,
and with that though, the company itself, because you're part of a larger company, that has been around for a while, right?
Yes, it has been since 1994. We have 5 locations in total: Pipestone, Marshall, Granite Falls, and here in Nobles.
And so, Tanner, the question here is, what do you do in this office? What is your job exactly?
yeah, so to make it easy to understand, really what we do is facilitate real estate transactions. There's more to that than meets the eye. But if you were explaining it in passing, that's how I would describe what we do.
Okay. Now, a lot of people think that they only see you guys at the end of the process, when it's time to sign all the papers and everything, but that's not quite the case, right?
Yeah, exactly. So as a homeowner or a home buyer, you go to your closing, and a lot of those happen in our office. But really, we're involved from day one, depending on how soon people want us to be involved. But there's, research on the property. Yari takes care of most of that in our office. To make sure that a new buyer is going to take clear title to property. There's a lot of numbers involved, so whether we're dealing with a lender or just between buyers and sellers, we want to make sure everyone that needs to get paid really gets paid. And then again, the bottom line is to make sure that buyers take clear title to property. That's the most important. So.
Now, as far as the number of people in this office, Yari, how many? Is it just you and Tanner that are holding down the fort, or what's going on?
For here in Worthington, it's only Tanner and me, but all officers are involved in the transactions. So we are in total 13 people, our company. So everybody do a little bit.
Anybody ever from the other offices ever come by to do some work?
Once in a while, they do.
Now, how about this? Here's a good question that I had just in my head here. Now, do regular people come out and seek your services, or is it mainly just like the real estate lender or the real estate offices, realtors or like the banks that call you up?
The majority of it comes from the lenders and the agents, but once in a while we get the walk-ins and we help them either way.
So is that like the walk-ins? Would that be someone that's like trying to sell their house by themselves, like that for sale by owner kind of thing?
Yes.
So is the process any shorter or longer with like a for sale by owner, or if it's through the traditional real estate agent thing?
Yeah, really, our process doesn't change. The property is the property, and the parties are the parties. But in our experience, when you work with a real estate agent, it really does speed things along. They know the process, whereas prior, even myself working here, trying to sell a house by myself, I would have been lost. So our involvement then with a for sale by owner increases just because the average individual doesn't understand what all goes into it. Our process is the same, but the involvement actually is probably increased with a for sale by owner.
What other kinds of transactions here, Tanner, than do you do aside from the traditional, like I'm here to buy a house kind of thing?
Yeah, we've worked on a lot of commercial properties in Worthington, Nobles County. So yeah, standard residential stuff, any sort of commercial projects, and then obviously in Nobles County, agriculture is a big player too. So we can take all of them from beginning to end and make sure everyone's happy.
And I would like to add on the research part of it, we work with four-year research, ONEs, and then updating abstracts too.
And as far as like the other transactions, well, the one thing I think that I heard you mention this before we came on the air here, even like the wind turbines and all that kind of stuff, because there's some transactions that go on between those companies and landowners too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Really, I'll call it our HQ is in Pipestone, and our Pipestone office handles most of the big wind projects, but that dribbles over to Nobles County for sure. And yeah, those are fun. We like big wind projects. So yeah, there again, more to it than meets the eye.
Definitely. Now, if somebody is looking to secure your services, whether they're trying to sell their house by themselves, or if it's maybe a realtor that maybe isn't familiar with Nobles County that's looking for someone looking for an abstract and a title company, what do they got to do?
Yeah, you can visit our website, wintertitle.com, or stop by 1036 Oxford Street in Worthington. Maybe once the construction's done.
Right. Yeah, you got to kind of a creative little way. You have to get like Oslo Street and everything in order to come in the back way and stuff. We're here at Nobles Abstract and Title Company on Oxford Street here in Worthington, another member of Forward Worthington. Remember, when you come in here, make sure that you do mention to Tanner Yari that you did see him here on Focus Forward here on Studio 3. We'll talk about what's coming up on the community calendar next. Welcome back to Focus Forward here on Studio 3. My name is Jamie Salinas from Forward Worthington, talking now about what's going on in the community calendar coming up. Farmers Market's been going on all summer, and it's going to go still. It's still on through this month of October. They're going to be wrapping things up on Tuesday, October the 24th. Now, of course, it's Tuesdays over at the Downtown Pavilion, and, of course, Saturdays over at the Runnings parking lot through the end of the season. Early Risers Kiwanis, they meet regularly over at the Center for Active Living in downtown Worthington. That's 6:45 in the morning. That's why they call them the Early Risers. 6:45 to 7:30 in the a.m. One fun thing that they got coming up here later on this month, it's the pumpkin painting event. Saturday the 21st, 11 to 2, Chautauqua Park Shelter. Just buy a pumpkin for $5, and the Early Risers will supply the paint. October 18th, that's Ladies' Night over at Runnings on the east end of Oxford Street. That's going to be over from 4 until 7 on October 18th. You'll be able to shop with their special edition buckets. You fill that bucket with, you'll get 20% off regular price and clearance price clothing and footwear, and then 10% off just about everything else, regular priced and clearance. That's going to be part of a fundraiser that Runnings puts on in order to help fight the ongoing fight with cancer. Looking to become a daycare provider, if that's something that you are interested in and you need more information, you're not sure how to become one, well, there's going to be a free information session through Nobles County. It's called Find Out About Family Child Care. Going to be over at the Nobles County Government Center on October 23rd. That is going to be 11:30 until 1 or 4:30 to 6:30 over at the Nobles County Government Center. If you want to get more info or if you would like to RSVP for that event, just call Angie Koplow 507-295-5285. And then finally, Memorial Auditorium. We are in the middle of their season, early part of the season yet, over at the Memorial Auditorium. Next event coming up, Crazy for Patsy Cline, Katie Deal, and her Nashville band. That's going to be Saturday, November the 4th, 7 o'clock. Box office, of course, open Monday through Friday from 9 to 1. That's at 714 13th Street. Or you can visit them on their website, friendsoftheauditorium.com. That's going to do it for another edition of Focus Forward here on Studio 3. We'll see you next time.